Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to the class on the series of tenses. Today we'll move on to the next tense, that is the present perfect continuous tense. And we make the present perfect continuous tense with the subject plus have or has been plus a verb in a continuous form, that is ing form. And if the subject is I, you, we, they, we use have. And if the subject is he, she, or it, we use has. For example, as you can see on the screen, I have been waiting to see the doctor for 2 hours. You can imagine this lady saying that. So it means that she has come to the clinic maybe around 5 o'clock, and now it's 7 o'clock already, and she's still waiting at 5. So 2 hours have now passed, and still she is waiting. So the present perfect continuous tense talks about an action that happened in the that started in the past and is still continuing. So in this sentence we can also say I have been waiting since 5 p.m. And the difference between for and since is that for talks about the amount of time, like 2 hours, 3 hours, etc. And since is used to mention the starting point of the action, like 5 p.m. in this sentence. So here is another sentence. So he has been playing tennis since he was a child. This is another example. So he started when he was little, maybe when he was 5 years old, and he still plays tennis now. So let's say he is 25 at this time. So he has been playing tennis for 20 years. All right. So here are a few more examples. Like she has been learning English for 8 months, or she we have been living in this town for a very long time, and it has been raining all morning. So now here the duration is all morning time. So in fixed phrases like all morning or all day or week, etc., we don't use for. Remember this. But you can say since 4 a.m. if you want to mention the starting point. I want to alert you to a common mistakes here that usually students do. If you say I'm waiting for to see the doctor for 2 hours, or he is playing tennis since he was a child. Okay? So those are not correct. You can say right now I'm waiting to see the doctor, or he's playing tennis. But when you mention the amount of time, like 2 hours or 3 hours, or when you mention the actually starting point, like since he was a child, in these sentences you must use the present perfect continuous tense. So this is true with the other sentences here as well. So keep this point in mind. All right. So this is the present. This was all about the present perfect continuous tense. Hope it's clear to you. Now let's move on to the next tense, that is the past perfect. But before we talk about this tense, take a look at this past simple tense sentence. When we got to the theater, the movie started. So there are two past actions here: going to the theater, which means we arrived there, and the movie started. All right. So you can see in the timeline that we got to the theater first, and then right after that the movie started playing. Okay. But what about this sentence, when we got to the theater? The movie had started. That means the movie started before we got to the theater. So the movie started first, then we arrived. This is the past perfect tense. So we make it with subject plus had plus a verb in past participle form or V3 form. So when we have two actions in the past, we use the past perfect to clearly show which action happened first. All right. So here is another example. I was sick because I had eaten too much the previous night. So, two actions here. I was sick and I had eaten too much the previous night. But which action happened first? We have to see that. I had eaten too much food and then the next day I was sick. All right? So, other sentence goes like the girl looked very familiar. I had seen her somewhere before. Right? Now, the first I had seen her somewhere before, maybe a few years before. So she looked very familiar. Now, Joel rushed to his boss' office, but she had gone home already. She, meaning the boss, had gone home already. So when Joel rushed to see her, she wasn't there. As you can see, the past perfect tense is really easy. Just remember that when we have two past actions and we use the past perfect if we want to clearly indicate which happened first. So we do this to avoid confusion in the order of events. All right. So this was about the past perfect tense. I hope it's all clear to you and you're enjoying this whole series on tenses. Hope to see you in the next class. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.